but he enriched his building narrative that unnamed forces within the US government were thwarting his administration, just days after unloading on the FBI on Twitter when he said the Bureau's reputation was in tatters. Quote, "This is a rigged system. This is a sick system from the inside. And you know that there is no country like our country, but we have a lot of sickness in some of our institutions," Trump told the crowd in Florida. It is not the first time that Trump has made such arguments. He complained against the rigged system during last year's election in a gambit seen at the time as a face-saving hedge against a possible loss to Hillary Clinton. But the context has changed. Trump is now the head of the government that he is accusing of conspiring against him politically. Therefore, his attacks against US government institutions, including the FBI, but which have also included the wider intelligence community and the judiciary, are far more polarizing politically and risk causing long-term damage to already fragile trust in government. They could even have constitutional implications, since Trump is attacking the very system set up to constrain presidential power and to ensure integrity at the pinnacle of US government. So General Flynn lies to the FBI and his life is destroyed, while crooked Hillary Clinton, on that now famous FBI holiday interrogation with no swearing in and no recording, lies many times. And nothing happens to her. Trump tweeted, quote, "Rigged system, or just a double standard." Trump's return to the rigged system rhetoric reflects his consistent political strategy of seeking enemies against which to define himself. It also plays into the suspicions of his supporters by casting himself as an outsider innocent of wrongdoing who is being persecuted by an elite establishment which has gained Washington power for itself. But it also has serious implications for the Mueller probe. It is possible that the former FBI director concludes that there was no evidence of collusion by the Trump campaign during the election, and the president did not obstruct justice in the firing of his successor at the Bureau, James Comey. But given the Flynn plea deal, it appears clear he has bigger targets than the former national security advisor in his sights. The idea would be that, if the system of legal accountability represented by Mueller and the FBI is rigged and sick, it cannot be trusted to deliver a fair verdict on the president, a conceit that has staggering political implications. Earlier this week, the special counsel removed Peter Strzok, an investigator from his team, for exchanging private messages with an FBI lawyer that could be seen as critical of Trump and supportive of Clinton. Last year, Strzok changed a key phrase in Comey's description of how former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton handled classified information, according to U.S. officials familiar with the matter. The message from Trump supporters has been that Mueller's dismissal of Strzok is not a sign of a prosecutor determined to outlaw any sign of a conflict of interest, but instead evidence that the team is rotten at the core. Mueller's close identification with the FBI and the fired Comey has also enabled his supporters to suggest that something is not on the level. That's despite the possibility it could trigger turmoil and potentially resignations at the Justice Department, severe political damage to the president himself, and potentially a constitutional crisis. After all, Trump dismissed Comey despite obvious implications that he could be seen as trying to obstruct the Russia investigation. And he pardoned former Arizona Sheriff Joe Arpaio despite claims his ally violated the Constitution with his hardline immigration enforcement.